Welcome back to The Good Talk, the show where we discuss what's hot, what's Grot, and everything between in the wild world of Warhammer. Ah! She felt very much like a Muppet in that moment.
How do you have so much energy after a full day? You're still...
I'm invigorated and drank way too much coffee way too late, and I will not be able to sleep tonight.
There it is. We found it.
It's tough. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Adrian. This is Bridger.
Hey.
And we, of course, are being hosted with Doc Mel. What's up, Mel?
Hi.
Hi. Hey,
You did not apparently share whatever caffeine you had today with me.
Or me.
Yeah.
Wait, I wanted some of that.
It's just, you know what? Just stick around. It
Rubs off?
osmosis
in the air?
for caffeine,
It rubs
100%.
Just
Thank
piping
you
it in.
for joining us here today. Of course, if you are new to the show, welcome. This is the current iteration of The Good Talk. It's changed throughout its lifetime. Right now, we are using it because there's so much we want to talk about regarding Warhammer, and it's also a chance to kind of kick back, chat about things. If you have questions, send in those super chats. If you have lists, we have a new list review system.
We do.
You'll notice today we are actually in the game room, just having finished a game. That's because our other computer, the capture card, has fully died, and so it just arrived today. We're going to be getting it installed, getting it set up. But we really didn't feel like having another cursed stream, so we are here today. Yeah. Thank you so much. With that, I think before we dive on into some super chats, we have some things we want to discuss. Yeah,
We do, yeah.
So today was a big day in Warhammer community, as basically I think every day between now and 10th edition is going to be. They told us a bit about how army creation works in the new edition. So some of this I think you actually don't even know about. So this is going to be first reactions.
I'm curious.
So yeah, let's take a look. We have a couple graphics for you today. This first one kind of covers some of the basics of list design. Some of this is obvious and the same, and some of it is new. So step one, pick your battle size. This is actually important. Seems obvious, but there's no, for a regular game, there's nothing below 1,000 points anymore.
Good.
That's separate combat patrol.
Good.
So it's 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 points.
Ooh.
Amazing. And they were like straight up with it this time. They said, you know what, the game's been balanced for this size.
Yeah.
Even 1,000 points is probably pushing it.
Probably pushing it.
But it's pretty good.
Yeah.
So we do that. Nothing new, right?
Cool.
Army roster. Cool.
These are the units
with
you
the
bring.
app that allegedly works, which will be good. Choose a faction. Okay. We'll talk more about faction, but more specifically, select detachment rules. Now, this I think cannot be understated. This is basically them saying, what is the spread of rules that you're going to use for your army? And do note, this basically is including like a subchapter.
Okay.
You're not really, it's funny, we're playing with Ultramarines today, not really going to be a thing anymore. The example they used was like the Gladius Strike Force, and if you play a Gladius Strike Force, you have certain restrictions, which you don't know, and you get certain benefits, which we also don't know.
Cool.
But it's going to be kind of like the World Eaters.
So this is perhaps something that we saw a preview with in Regiments of Renown.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
You have list building restrictions, and then you get benefits for meeting those list building restrictions. I thought it was a cool idea when they did ROR. I think they'll have to be careful, obviously, with balancing. Anytime you give players decisions, sometimes there will be one decision that's clearly better than another. But you know, it's not something they can't keep on and fix.
Yeah, and I think they started in the right direction, right? With the Regiments of Renown, they said you can only take certain things,
right?
And you're not going to get access to everything. But by and large, you still had most of the stratagems and other things available to them. Now they said, all that's going to go away. You literally get your rules for the detachment. You get like 3 warlord traits, 3 relics, and like a page of strats, it seems like.
Interesting.
Which is good. It's much more easily divisible, you know? And so that seems to be the way forward. I don't know how they're going to handle things like Ultramarines, like named characters. That's my big question. There's no like sub-factions per se.
Whoa.
But I don't really want to have Gilliman with...
Holding hands with the lion?
With the lion. Oh.
You just blew my mind, dude.
That I want.
You could have all the... What? No, it can't. What does that mean?
I don't know.
You can't just...
I don't know.
That's not...
Right?
They're not going
to... They have to have something to restrict that. I don't know what it is, how it's going to work, but I imagine. Right?
Maybe they'll limit you to one named character, like, per list.
Oh. That would basically immediately solve that problem.
But it would also upset a lot of people.
It's true. Well, speaking of which, we have a second graphic, which...
Wild speculation.
I like it. I mean, that kind of solves that. So this one, basically, the only requirements to build the army, since we're talking about list construction here, you need to have at least one character. Cool. You.
So given that it says at least one character, wouldn't that suggest that it's definitely going to be 1+ character?
Well, what's the second one? It's actually too small to say. Does
That
it
one
say
says only one epic hero?
Max 1 of each epic hero.
Okay. Okay, that's what I thought it said.
Each?
Basically, named characters are named, and you can't have more than one.
Okay.
Then you can have up to 3 of any. It's rule of 3, except for troops, which are rule of 6. Which means no, you can't spam it out. This list or in today, not gonna be a thing.
Good. Get him out of here.
So the reason I wanted to bring this up was I was actually genuinely curious about the epic hero thing, because that would have been the way to do the rule that you're kind of suggesting.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're gonna do it, but I'm curious what people think in chat, because this is a little bit scary. It's a little bit liberating. Like, you can play your Marines, no matter what color they are. I've got my yellow Marines, which have been bad for so long. It's going to be fine. But on the other hand, are we going to lose too much flavor? Are people going to clomb onto the best thing? How do we feel about this?
Right, so start of 8th, we kind of had Gilliman's syndrome.
Yeah.
There were roughly 60% of players playing Space Marines. And roughly 70% of those players had Gilliman.
Yeah. Sometimes he wore red armor. Sometimes it was green armor.
Right.
Sometimes it was a different Primarch model that counted as Gilliman.
Whatever he felt like looking like that day, really.
Yeah, he's a
Kinda
man of
just
many fashions.
his rules. Everybody just wanted his rules.
They almost like they just wanted him for his body.
I don't want that back. I don't want to see Gilliman on every table. Just like I don't want to see Abaddon or Mortarion or, you know, the Silent King. Like I don't want to walk around and see, oh look, at every table is this singular named character. That's
I agree.
What a coincidence. We'll see. I mean, this is again just rampant speculation. We don't know how they're going to handle this. Maybe they have a solution in their pocket, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see what goes on with that. And the rest of this, that for me was the big contentious thing that they kind of revealed today. Yep. And I think in the article, they kind of suggested the way that doctrines might work, which is cool. It's kind of similar to what I was hoping. And basically, it's each turn, you're going to be able to select a buff that you get that's based off the doctrine. They didn't say what it is. They're going to tease that soon. But basically, I assume it'll be like, yeah, we're going to do Devastator Doctrine. It's going to help with
Devastation.
maybe it is maybe it's just the same Devastator, the doctrines now. But
Could be.
you can pick one each turn. So I think that's good. So the rest of this doesn't look too contentious to me. Even not being able to spam troops, that's fine.
Clarification from chat. What's the difference between an epic hero and a named hero, or are they the same?
They're probably the same. I mean, we don't know for sure.
Yeah.
But epic heroes could be, judging by the silhouette, could be, what are they called today? Supreme Commanders?
Ooh, yeah.
It's possible that that's what they mean. You can only have one Supreme Commander.
Right.
But I would imagine it's all named characters are epic heroes.
Yeah.
That those are like one and the same thing.
Could go either way, but it's certainly some restriction related to these
But one of
bigger
each
characters.
wouldn't mean anything for...
Named?
No, for... Like you could... All of the... What was the other one that I said?
Supreme Command?
All the Supreme Commanders are named anyway, so you can only have one of each of them anyway. So if they only said... If epic heroes are Supreme Commanders...
Oh, because it says each, right?
One of each is a meaningless
I
statement.
keep thinking that it's, yeah.
Like, you're not going to have 3 Gillimans. You're not going to have 3 Silent Kings. So I imagine that's named character.
That is so perplexing.
I think Epic Hero is just a new name for named character.
I almost want to, like, pull up this article one more time to see, like...
Voodoo Fairy says that it says they are the same in the article.
Named characters
Named.
and Epic
Epic.
Hero.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Okay,
All right, cool. Awesome.
Confirmed.
Because, yeah, you're like, wait a minute, is it? Are we assuming too much or whatever?
So there's questions in chat on how Imperial Knights and T-Suns are even going to function under this with the lower amount of data sheets.
They'll be fine.
But I don't see a problem here. I think...
Wait, were you running 4 of any knight before? Because that's not allowed. I'm confused. These rules are equally restrictive for those factions, except Thousand Sons, who already were not taking more than 6 squads of rubrics. Like,
Yeah. And for Knights, battle line, one can assume that Armigers will become battle line, just like they basically are now.
you couldn't take 6 units of Armigers before anyway.
Not in Arcs of Omen. Before you could do multiple super heavy detachments.
So people are taking but Rule of 3 is still...
Nobody's doing that.
Right, Rule of 3 was still a thing. You couldn't take more than 3 of a data sheet.
I guess that's true.
So the War Dog data sheet, or the Armigger data sheet, like this is not more restrictive. All those factions are fine.
Yeah, if you wanted to run all Warglaives, for example, this means you have a maximum of 18 Warglaives in your list.
Which is more than before. This is more than before.
I think it'll be fine.
Armies like Guard are more affected by this. I think Guard is the #1 most affected because you can only have 6 infantry squads.
Harlequins. Are transports going to be exempt? Because if not, then Harlequins are definitely.
That would be rough if you can only have 3 transports.
But I think the other thing to keep in mind, or not being an excuse of it, but I think there are going to be probably some exceptions to certain rules. These are the core rules. These are the base rules. This is what it's going to. The default assumption is. And there may be an army or two that they make a couple exceptions for, but it'll probably be a unique, special, different thing.
It'll be the Guard and Harlequins of the world who rely on this, but nobody else should care that you can't.
Yeah, I don't think it's a problem.
Like, nobody was taking 8 squads of intercessors.
Yeah,
it's fine.
What is the general vibe in chat about the topic? I'm curious what they. Are they down with it? Are they concerned? Or?
Riot. They're rioting.
Yeah.
Some are a little worried that it's the AOSification of 40k. There was concerns about T-Suns, and T-Suns seem to be hit hard by a lot of the changes in 10th.
I don't.
What about non-Codex Marines? Do we get to keep our little special
Right.
logos?
Seems likely.
I bet they're going to have something separate. I bet they're going to be like they're a separate book-ish right now. There's not even really going to be books to start, so I bet they have their own special detachments that have special rules. You know, like you'll have the Wolf Brothers detachment or whatever it is.
And Adrian, it says up to 6 of the same battle line or dedicated transport.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh, there you go.
That's good. As long as you can do 1 for 1, it's fine. You know, we'll take more jet bikes. I would love to have a reason to, frankly, run more of them. I think that was one of the, not to get too much in the game that we just played, but like Arks of Omen said, okay, if you want to do deadly performance, you have to do it with core units. Suddenly there was a reason to take jet bikes again, which there wasn't before. And I actually liked that. Even though it was worse for, like, it made the army worse, quote unquote, for me, it was better because it let me and encouraged me to play with more of my toys. And this can hopefully do the same thing.
And chat's wondering how you think, Bridger, this is going to affect Custodes and shield hosts.
Oh.
I don't see a problem here. The rules that are on the screen are almost identical to the rules of the game today.
I think they're probably talking about the sub-factions thing there. Do you think they'll still
This was the first edition that we had sub-factions, guys. Like, they didn't mean anything in 8th or before. Like,
so if it goes away, it's fine.
I wasn't particularly attached to any of the sub-fact. Like, I love Solar Watch for the rules that they give Custodes and the gameplay style that enables. I imagine Custodes will still have some way to do some of those things in their new rules, but this is a whole new edition. Like, why would I be attached to the rules of 9th when we're moving on to 10th? It's different. Yeah, might not even be useful anymore.
That's true.
Like. There's a lot of skies falling-ism. Chicken Little. A lot of the Warhammer community loves to freak out and soothsay and scream that doom is coming. But like, guys, Thousand Suns, I have yet to hear a single thing in about 10th that is bad for Thousand Suns. And like, people just love to freak out, but things are gonna be great. It's gonna be a fun game, and I'm excited for something different and new puzzles to solve, new problems to think about. New ways to play that don't even look, to be honest, that different. These rules are the same.
Yeah. No, I think that's very, very true. Yeah.
Cool.
Well spoken.
There you go.
Well, and that's it. With that,
stream over.
We're gonna dive into super chats. Of course, if you do have questions on the topic, we're still happy to take them in chat. This is just a time to hang out and talk about some Warhammer. Hit us up, Mel.
Well, so our first list comes from Jared Miller.
Hey.
This is a Custodes list.
Shall we arise? Arise!
Or you can move to the side. Oh,
nope.
Okay.
Nope, we're up here now.
Okay. This is a Custodes list. Bike Captain, Creation, Mantle, Trajan, Valerian with Trait.
Okay, yeah.
4 Sword Guard, 3 units of
Sagittarum.
3 Alaris, 1 Alaris, 1 Alaris.
Yeah.
Okay. Praetor, Oblit.
No.
Magnifica?
Magnifica, yeah.
Yep. 3 units of bikes, 3 Helverin What do you think?
Okay, so taking the Obliteratum on a Praetor is actually really funny to me. That is the Relic Grenade Launcher for Terminators.
What?
And it was really funny in 8th edition. It was Strength 10, AP 4,
What?
like flat 6 damage or something ridiculous. And then we went to 9th, and it doesn't really do anything now. It was it's a wrist-launched nuclear bomb
Yeah.
that you just shoot one of every turn, and you're just like
That's
pumping them
cool.
out
Aw.
at basically melee range.
Yeah.
Because like 40k. I think it's funny that you include that relic. I mean, I wouldn't, if you're trying to be super competitive, I wouldn't take it, because odds are you will shoot it in one game out of 100.
But will it be worth it in that one game out of 100?
It often leads to disappointment. Even when it was like Strength 10, AP 4, it was still often disappointing. Because like a one-shot relic weapon that had a short range. What do I think about this? I love Trajan. I love the Bike Captain. I think Valerian is a great inclusion if you like him, but he doesn't need to be in all the lists. 4 Sword Guard is good. I do not like Sagittarm right now, even though Armor Contempt went away. I just don't think that's the playstyle of Custodes.
Right.
And it doesn't seem to be a playstyle that you're leaning into, of like sit and shoot. You have a bit of that. You have 3 bikes and you have Helverins, but the Helverins don't benefit from Trajan, so you're not an oppressive shooting faction. Or this list isn't oppressive shooting. So I think 3 Sagittarm will often be just short of what you're trying to accomplish. The 3 Sagittarm rarely is enough to like reach out and kill a whole unit.
Right.
It's usually like 1 model's left, which means the activation was wasted. So I would either beef that up to 5 Sagittarm, which can usually kill reasonable targets, or move away from the shooting gunline concept. You have a lot of points tied up in characters, which is a thing that you can end up doing in Custodes, but you're just not covering much of the board. So if you are trying to fight rather than shoot, I don't know, man. The inclusion of Helverins makes it so hard to...
I keep forgetting they're even in the list.
Right, it's a lot of points.
Wow.
That's a lot of points of Helverins, which is why it feels like such a small Custodes army.
Yeah.
Okay. You're like short an entire Custodes hammer.
I mean, Helverin.
They're right.
They hit like a hammer.
I don't... It's really hard for me to give suggestions, because this just isn't a headspace I often put myself in.
Yeah.
You have a lot of buffs that don't affect the Helverins. Like, you have a Vexilla, you have Trajan, the Captain is like not a big buff, but he is something.
Yeah. The Magnifica feels a bit odd now. Is that the -1 to hit?
It is the -1 to hit, and I talked with John about this. Every time we play Custodes,
Yeah.
on Saturday, it's like a tournament winning list, and they all have this Vexilla. And I figured it out, because most of the time it does nothing, right?
Yeah.
The -1 to hit is going to be largely inconsequential in most matchups, but you have matchups like Imperial Guard and Votan, where it gives you the ability to play the game at all, whereas without it, you were pretty host.
I guess, but like you said, it's not buffing much. Like, what is going to be actually standing in the open that is okay getting shot at?
Bikes. That's the only thing in this list. Bikes and Sagittarm are the only thing in the list that are going to stand there and shoot. But the bikes, I think, often will fly away, and they won't benefit from it.
For the Praetor, you can get another bike.
You could, yeah.
I don't know.
Bike and a half, yeah.
Bike and a half.
I'm also not in love with the 3-1-1 Alaris. Like, you've taken elements of a tournament-winning list, but I feel like you're missing the context of what made it a tournament-winning list. And then the changes that you've made around those elements sort of defeats some of the purpose of those elements. So, like, the 3-1-1 Alaris plays a very specific role in the bully list, which is be fast, and I say fast meaning like they deep strike somewhere and then they're there forever. But often you will like deep strike them in the back of your backfield in a matchup where they don't have deep strikes or a way to threaten. So you push all of your army into the middle of the table, and then you bring in 2 individual Alaris in your backfield, and you have 3 Alaris to play as an actual like fighting unit.
Right.
Or they play the secondary game, which you often see. But the 3 Alaris need to be getting into combat, or you need to unleash the lions with them. And I don't think you can afford to do that here. They're like your big fighting unit that 3 Alars, which just isn't going to cut it often enough.
Would you just drop them down and keep them as ones for the utility?
Yeah, I would take 3 individuals, and then so I would cut the Praetor, cut 2 Alars, and then add 3 more bikes. And now this is an oppressive shooting list, and your goal is to pew pew.
That's fair.
And mission accomplished. Touchdown.
Nailed it. Thanks so much, Jared. Appreciate the soups.
Sorry for the essay.
Chat.
Awesome.
No, that's good. Like the thoughts.
I think they love the essay. Well, here's our next list-ish from Primal War Frog. I've been having good luck with... I'm going to need help.
Behind enemy line secondary.
Okay.
Got that fast.
Boom.
That was...
Wow.
It was on the brain.
A Chrono with Veil on Scorpex and Ophidian's Deep Strike, preparing for my first 100-plus player tournament.
Oh, cool.
Hops.
I don't know what hops means,
Hop
but...
on primaries. Yes, we'll do that. This is cool. So, Chrono with Veil on Scorpex and Ophidian, Deep Strike.
What do you think about Ophidians doing
cool.
behind enemy lines? I think that's cute.
I think I like them a lot for that. Just take the small squad.
Yeah.
They're not too expensive. They, unlike Alaris, can move quickly after they come down.
Yeah.
So they're not just stuck in there, which is great. And I think the Veil is less reliable, especially because you're jumping a melee unit that then like
Needs to make a 9-inch charge.
yeah, or it feels like a lot of investment for 3 points. It makes me a bit nervous there.
Yeah, if I were using Veil for behind, I would want to Veil like Immortals or Warriors. Something that can just stand there and shoot and get value.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. But I like it as an add-on, right? Have more than one Ophidian squad that's able to do this. Yeah. Then you have this squad, and maybe even have it baked in like a small Scarab squad or two that's also able to do this behind enemy lines. So I think getting these redundancies is going to be the most important thing.
Oh yeah,
that you have there.
Yeah.
So, but I like the concept a lot. Behind enemy lines, as we've seen today, is a very, very strong secondary, and it's even with my mistakes today, it's hard to mess up.
And you
know?
you still have to build a list around it. Like you can't just take it willy-nilly.
Yeah.
You have to think about it.
Which is good.
It's a list building secondary, but it's always good to have as an option. And I like the flexibility when you're taking the Veil of saying, okay, this game I really need behind, I'm gonna grab this behind enemy lines unit and take it with me, versus, oh man, I really wish my Scorpex were across the board right now and charging that crucial unit, okay, cool, I can do it because I have the Veil.
Exactly.
It's good flexibility.
Definitely agree. So thanks so much, Primal Warfrog. Have fun. 100-plus player tournament. This is a big event.
Good luck.
Best luck.
And your name is great.
Not Adrian. Bridger was great giggling about the name earlier. So
Yeah, that was pretty great.
love it. Well, we have from Evan to Manello, finally getting together my buddies Saturday to continue our 40k crusade. I'm looking forward to some games with my Tau and hopefully my Orks for the first time. Any advice for going from Tau to Orks? My Orks are beach-themed snakebites, commandos, 2 Snagas, Gretchen, Beast Boss, Storm Boys, truck with 3 Mega Knobs, Squig Hog Boys, knobs on Smash the Squigs, and maybe a Wartsog to manage the Gretchen?
Cool. Okay. What's up, Evan?
was
Good
a
to
lot
hear
of
from you
orc.
as always.
A lot of orc words.
I think, so Tau and Orks, stay with me.
Okay.
Not as different as you might think, because they both play in a control style.
Okay.
They both are going to decide whether they approach the game in 2 ways. They're going to Moncada, they're going to Kion. They're going to just try to overwhelm
That's a very
you with
Tau way
force.
to put that.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to overwhelm you with force early on and try to just keep you all the way back so they can score all their stuff, or they're going to wait for the proper moment.
Yeah.
People might get too close, or you might have secondaries that force them to get too close. You know, you're getting the good bits, you've got Green Tide. If they don't make a move, you're just going to keep getting up those passive secondaries, and once they get close, you pop the wah, you charge out,
Chop them on the head.
you hit them over the head with the brick.
Yeah.
Chop them, exactly. So I think you'll find that there are a lot of synergies in those play styles, and kind of keep that in mind. Like Orks are fragile if you stick them out there, but they hit like a truck, and they can be very durable for 1 turn. So think about how you can kind of take your Tau skills and apply them to Orks. It's gonna be a ton of fun. It's just gonna be fun. I'm excited for this adventure for you, Evan. I like what you have here. This is awesome. Beach-themed snake bites, first of all, amazing. Commandos, Snagas, Grots, Stormboy. Like you have all the key units that are so strong right now. Yeah. It's great. Yeah. Even the Mega Knobs, it's like they're a hammer, but a very specific type of hammer. There's very little 3 damage in the army, so you can hit them harder and just kind of be ready to use that against the right target. I like it. I'm not sure about Wartzog. I think the points you could use for him could just be more Grots, frankly. And often with the good bits, what I found is like you just need one Grot to live. And so when I'm doing morale, it'll be like, oh, they're running on 1s, 2s, 3s, sometimes even 4s. And the way I think about it, the way I say it to my opponent is like, here's my fistful of dice. I just need one of these to be a 4+ or 5+.
Or 6.
And then I'll get the good bits.
1, 6 and you're good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think you could think about it like that and not have to invest. Honestly, this is one of my hopes for 10th edition is that Wartzog is actually worth taking. Because I don't think he's worth the points right now. Thanks, Evan. Appreciate it.
There's a lot of characters like that.
Yeah, they're just like, they're trying to do something too specific.
Right.
You know?
Or they're just outclassed at their thing by a generic character that came out later.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rip Cassius.
Oh, poor Cassius.
Awesome. Do you all remember when we played narrative and you guys went burp?
What?
What?
You want us to go to the sides?
I really do.
Us being really tall isn't enough for you, Mel?
Did
you see how tall we were?
Because you're tall when you're looking at yourself, but then you
then
hunch
we
a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like we're drowning.
Well, our backs are tired.
And I'm so
That's
far
totally
away from the picture.
fine.
And now we're tall
or
and
we
just
can
off
make
camera.
the graphics smaller, but now we can see both of you.
Oh, this is kind of cool.
There's a massive gulf between us. We are so far away. This is weird.
Try it out. Chat, let me know what you prefer, because I don't want to make the graphic any smaller. So,
No, yeah. If
Okay.
you want, I unfortunately agree.
Okay.
I just can't play footsies with Bridger anymore.
Like, we're so far apart. This is
Well,
weird.
thank you, Michael. We've got a list. I'm gonna let one of you read this. I believe in you.
Do you want
Sure, yeah, it's a Necron list. Thanks, Michael. Oh, well, now you made it small.
Oh,
to... Let's give us one read through, and then you can make it smaller.
Yeah. This is a Nihilakh list, so objective secured or double objective secured. It's amazing. You got a Technomancer with failsafe protocols. You've got one Chronomancer, 2 Overlords, I think.
Yep.
With the upgrades you guys can see there. You've got 5 Immortals, you've got Nightbringer, you've got 5 Deathmark, 5 Flayed One, 9 Lichguard with Sword, 9 by 7 Scarabs. 9 by 7 Scarabs. 9 and a 7 Scarab. 6 Wraiths.
A lot of units start with Doom, my dude. I think we needed a little more there. And I think you know that we need a little more there.
And then a Night Scythe. I think it's Doomstalker.
No.
No, it's probably a Doomsday Arc, which are actually doing pretty well right now.
Yeah.
This is a cool list. I like it. Let's see. First of all, most importantly, you have the correct dynasty, which is Nihilakh.
Okay.
I just feel like Necrons are infinitely easier with it, and it just plays so well into the secondaries. Flayed Ones are great for access to other secondaries. They fight well, they're cheap, they teleport for free.
Cheap.
I like them. 9 by 7 Scarabs is good.
9 and 7.
9 and 7.
Doomstalker. You were
Oh,
correct.
it's a Doomstalker.
No.
Oh, no.
Come on, bro. You baited us.
Stalkers. But they're
baited.
not. So if you're trying to be competitive, if that's your goal here, then I probably wouldn't take a Doomstalker.
The people who like Doomstalkers swear by them.
Because
and
they have that one story of the time it worked.
Those people are eternally lucky.
Yeah,
That's
true.
what we chalk that up to luck.
Yeah.
I wish I could be a Doomstalker fan.
I did have a time when I had 3 of them, and Shane's going in with his
Yep.
Space Marines,
Yep.
and just one at a time, because they had to go,
All
and just zerp, next one, zerp. And there was one of the first times using them, like, these are amazing! And as Chad has seen, that's never happened since. Yeah, I would probably swap that out for Doomsday Arc. Again, keep in mind what your goals are here. Is it trying to be as competitive as possible? Is it for fun? You know, what are your goals? So feel free to ignore that if that doesn't match what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Dude,
what do you think about the inclusion of a Nightbringer?
I like it.
I love
like
the
it?
concept. No, I'm a fan of the Nightbringer.
Yeah.
I just don't know the meta well enough to know what because it's a tech unit. It's like this unit solves a strange problem.
Yeah.
And I'm bringing this to solve that strange problem.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is in the meta right now.
I mean, it's pretty interesting into guard, to be honest. Do you have?
Because they don't have enough phases.
They don't have enough phases. They
Interesting.
don't really psychic. You have to be careful about melee now if they have Rough Riders. That's what I'm trying to look at. Does this list have other ways of like taking out Rough Riders from range? It doesn't really, but again, Doomsday Arc would help with that.
A Night Scythe can do some work. You just fly behind them, right?
Well, Night Scythe is the transport one, right?
But Rough Riders are like a 5-up save T4.
Yeah, that's true.
with 1 or 2 wounds,
That's
maybe?
true, actually.
Like, they're the kind of thing where a transport could incidentally kill them.
Yeah, that's fair. That's actually totally fair. I like the list. Two Overlords seems like a lot for what you have here.
One
What are
with
they
nothing
buffing?
and one with the Reaper, the Orb, and Precog.
Yeah.
I don't even know what Precog is in this context.
I don't know that the second one's doing much for you.
The bear one? You would cut the bear Overlord?
I understand the tech behind the orb. You've got scarabs, stuff like that. Makes sense. But what is the other one like? Are you trying to My Will Be Done and save the CP, I guess?
On what?
Right.
They're 2 each, right? Overlords do, or no,
No,
that's
it's
the
1 each. If you
Spend a command point.
2 on Pharaon, you can do it on 2 of them. But you're still like you're spending like 100 points, which you could do a lot of stuff with that.
You could just spend command points on that.
Exactly. So I would probably drop one of those. Think about the Doomstalker. And yeah, other than that, I do like it. I think it's going to scrap from the middle, which is what's cool about this list.
Cool.
Yeah. Thanks, Michael.
Thanks so much, Michael. Okay, this is kind of listy, kind of not.
Okay.
I'm just going through super chats now. We'll see. Thank you, Face Daydreamer. Hey, TTT. What are your thoughts on Angron versus Lord Invocatus as the Warlord? With Lord Invocatus is solid. While Lord Invocatus is solid, his Warlord trait being a 50-50 on use has me considering Angron as the Warlord. His game presence is huge and unlike other Primarchs ever present.
All right, Adrian, let's pretend that I'm a member of chat who doesn't know what these are.
That's so thoughtful of you. Okay, so the Eternal trade-off is if Angron is in your list, he has to be a Warlord.
Okay.
And he has a locked Warlord trait, and the Invocatus has a locked Warlord trait.
Okay.
Angron's Warlord trait is decent.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure
I would expect it to be.
it's the turn-off obsec within 6 inches,
That's good.
which is great.
Wait, but that's the only bullet point?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Lord Invocatus, however, does 2 things. It lets you do a pre-game move with 2 core units, which is amazing.
Full move? No,
Full
no,
move.
no,
Keep in mind, 8-bound move 9 inches, plus they benefit from his other ability,
Okay.
which is core units within 6 of him, when they move, gets plus 2 inches. So it's an 11-inch pre-game move for them. Sorry, the plus 2 move, he's actually going to have all the time. That's not related to the Warlord trait. But it is a pre-game move that he can buff them to an 11-inch pre-game move. And so I have generally been a proponent of him over Angron for competitive
good.
lists. But I guess the 50-50 that Faith Daydreamer is referring to here is sometimes you don't go first, and then it's less effective, which I don't think is partially true.
I wouldn't call that a 50-50. Like, redeploys are good offensively and defensively.
Agreed.
And this is like a miniature redeploy that in some ways is better than redeploy because it gets you out of your deployment zone when you need it.
It gets you into a safe piece of terrain that you can then intervene from with your 6-inch, or if you really had to, you can fight on death. It doesn't have to be 8-bound. It could be Berserkers or
Well,
something
it's 2
cheaper.
core units, you said, right?
It's 2 core units. It's great.
That's so good. There's got to be a range on that. Now I'm basically quizzing you.
I like how you didn't ask me. No, there's no range.
What?
I don't think so.
That's insane. Okay,
Alright.
so that's actually a fascinating trade-off between Angron, a beat stick that's like awesome, and Lord Invocatus with just a strictly better Warlord trait.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. And, things that Angron brings to the table, obviously he's a beat stick. He does have the capability to prevent fallbacks within 6 of him.
What is he, Scarbrand?
Basically. Well, he can be situationally Scarbrand. He's like, I'm mad now. And that's actually really interesting for keeping your army alive.
Right, yeah.
So-
that's a big deal.
It is definitely less clear-cut than I was first thinking when the book came out. I think I'm still on the Invocatus side, though.
This is a
honest.
fascinating puzzle.
Right?
Just to update Bridger,
Yeah.
everyone else in the world calls him Lord Avocado.
No, we don't do that here.
Lord Avocado?
Yes, we do. That's what Chad does.
No.
That's what I do. Welcome.
I hate it.
I see, the problem with Lord Avocado is it's too close to the actual name.
I think that's the point.
No,
You're
we
just an absolute DJ.
when we come up with nonsense names for things, it's because we couldn't remember the original.
Or like
name.
Lemon Liminator. That's an old one.
That one actually is kind of close, but we stretched it so far from the beginning that it stopped being close.
So yeah, I look, Fate's Daydream, if you told me you were going to take Angron, I wouldn't say that was the clearly wrong answer. But I do like me some good Lord of Makadis, and it is, I think, going to be more of the toolbox. And look, more points are going to be saved for like more 8-bound, frankly.
To be honest, I just look at this as two different ways to build a list in War Leaders.
Yeah.
It's just two different strategies.
Yeah, agreed.
Play whichever one you want.
Yeah.
Awesome. So clarification from last Good Talk. Last Good Talk, you all said Soul Grinders were bad for the points. However, you got the toughness wrong. It is T8 base, T9 with Nurgle. Does that change your mind on it?
Ooh, okay.
This is specifically for Khorne, though? Because we were talking about Khorne at the time.
Yeah.
Sorry, and I was muted. Just a clarification.
Classic producers.
Are we coming back to the middle?
No,
I
I'm
said
gonna
producers, I didn't say
have
you.
more.
I was like,
more
Stacey
lists.
Mel.
I am juggling things and trying to mute
She's
myself.
literally
while I
juggling.
type.
That's why she's not pressing the button.
I am literally juggling. Last Good Talk, you all said Soul Grinders were bad for the points. However, you got the toughness wrong. It's T8. Yeah, you got the toughness wrong.
Yeah,
T9.
Yeah.
With Nurgle, does that change your minds, Pritchard?
You want him to answer, or you want to stop?
No,
spinning?
he's just.
I
You
kinda
don't like me
spin too.
spinning? Well, I can't spin. A man can't spin in his own studio.
Oh, I'm too old to spin.
Wait, that was all the spinning it took?
I think I'm dehydrated.
You should remain seated. Okay, so the T8 makes them better, obviously, but I'm still not sold on them in Khorne particularly. I think in Nurgle they're very compelling. T9 is incredibly rare right now.
Yeah.
Now the question is how many Strength 8 weapons are there that you're really worried about?
There's a lot of melt in the
Or
game right now.
Strength 4. A lot of Melta. So I think, yes, Nurgle, it's compelling. It does two things for Nurgle. It fights better than most Nurgle things.
Yeah.
And it shoots way better than most Nurgle things. And it's tough like all other Nurgle things. So like, cool, Nurgle Soul Grinders, I'm sold, great. Khorne, however, has no shortage of things that will win their combat, therefore toughness is relevant in combat. And the shooting from the cannons is quite good. Mm-hmm. It's a question of like, do you want more shooting? Mm-hmm. And if you do, you have to dip into Soul Grinders, right? Like, what else are you going to go to?
No, that's it.
Khorne
That's
demons?
literally it.
But do you need to? That's a question for you. I'm not sold on them because I like charging and fighting.
Ooh. Yeah, I think I'm still a little bit south of being sold on them. It is better than we thought, for sure. But I think I'm with Bridget on this one. Yeah. But thank you for the clarification.
Awesome. A couple super chats before we jump into the next list.
Here we go.
We can.
Oh yeah.
We can think about how we want to structure this in the future. Thank you, Blackbird. Where can I pick up this awesome durable train? Also, what is membership gifting? I hear it is a good way to support the channel. On a serious note, hope you're all doing well. I'm panel lining tanks.
Oh, good times.
Lining tank. What is? That's painting words.
That's what that mean? What is this, John over here? Panel lining. So like like the crevasses between two panels of armor.
Oh, this is like when you do like an ink,
like a washer. Yeah, okay, exactly. Yeah. It's in there. Yeah, I was doing that on Deathwing yesterday.
Tedious.
It's yeah, but it's like rewarding. It's like paint by
More
numbers.
rewarding than other tedious tasks in painting.
That is
Certainly.
very true.
Yeah.
Look, I don't know if you know this, Blackbird, but gifting memberships is a great way to support the channel, and it allows new people to try out the premium membership, which they got a bunch of things for. You're going to get to influence and vote on the Tuesday games. You're going to get access to the members-only Discord, where we spend a lot of time hanging out and chatting. And also, you're going to get access to more behind-the-scenes content. We just had one last week where we actually do a walkthrough of all these armies. So if you're curious, that's the kind of stuff we do. And if you get gifted memberships, you get to try it for free.
You know what you forgot to mention there, Adrian?
Perhaps a certain type of durable terrain that we're looking for.
Well, that as well. But Tuesday's show, every Tuesday we stream only for members. So if you remember, you get to.
I didn't say that? No.
Yeah, well,
There's like
there's
over
a lot of
1,000 hours of content that you may have not seen if
You
you
get
are
access to everything.
not a member.
So become a member. Check it out.
Look at this beautiful terrain that we have.
You can buy it.
It is
Tabletop
made of
Titans.
paper. Can you believe that?
And it pops up. Who knew?
It's affordable. It stores easily.
Oh, are you going to do my job? This is what I did.
Are you gonna
all
fold
of
it?
LVO.
He's gonna fold it.
No, that's it. I was just getting
Are you
the
ready?
off. Oh, you want me to fold?
Oh, let's see it fold. Oh, look at that! It folds flat.
Amazing.
Goes right back in the box.
Look at this.
And you know what? In response, thank you, Seedroots, for gifting 5 tabletop
All right,
memberships.
too kind, Seedroots. Thank you.
Seedroots.
Appreciate it.
Is this what it's like being on like QVC?
Yes, definitely.
Oh no.
I think they do a better job though.
Well,
No. How many boxes of Tabletop Titans terrain have they sold?
I can tell you for a fact, none.
0. So chalk one up to us.
That's true. That's true.
Thank you, Monarch. My other cat, Bellicor, will never live down being beat out by Abaddon for being featured. I will say, Monarch, I loved both your cats, but I felt like it was wrong to have like 2 people from the same family.
Yeah, maybe next time.
And so Abaddon had the cuter eyes.
That's also incredibly lore accurate, and I love it.
That Abaddon has cuter eyes than...
That's true. Dan Abnett actually wrote about that. No, because it's like, oh, like Abaddon always, Bellicor is just a jealous person. So,
I am too.
yeah. Excellent.
Awesome. Kind of a list review. Thank you again, Fate's Daydreamer. Have you all looked into Malifaux? What? I can't. I'm so tired.
Malifaux?
Malifaux.
It's a fake French word. It's a faux French word, if you will. That's good.
Did you know that Adrian is in fact the least educated Titan?
Wow. And you're like
dredging it up. Dredging it up.
Fight me.
What master faction would you run? Also, if a package happens to be dropped off with 2 crews in it, would they make it on the channel? Love the game.
Thanks so much, Fates Daydreamer.
Okay. How much about Malifaux do you know?
I bought models probably 10 years ago
Okay.
when the game started, and it was cool. Never played it. I have some friends that got really into it, and they seem to have a good time. It's like very minute. There's a lot of like minutia and lots of rules and cards independent to characters. That's basically everything I know.
It's a skirmish game that's very character centric.
Yep.
So like we played Marvel Crisis Protocol last Sunday. Check it out. It was very fun. We play it again sometime in the not too distant future.
Yeah.
That's a skirmish game where it's about the characters, but it's not so much like keeping it all in your head, and it's also established characters from a canon that you know already. So you kind of just already spent that brain space on like, oh, Spider-Man like does web stuff and he like moves people, right?
It's a very Bridger answer. I like it.
Whereas when you're learning a new game with characters that you don't know anything about, you're like, he looks like he does certain things, but now I have to actually remember all the things he does. So that's what you mean by like, there's a lot of minutia and keeping track of what all your characters do. Malifaux, I've checked in on, because I keep my finger on the pulse of all games.
Yeah.
I just love games.
Game's great.
I check in on it every couple of years.
Like, how's Malifaux doing?
Yeah, like, oh, they got a new edition over there? People enjoying that? Maybe I'll try that. It's the one with cards, right? You play with a deck of cards.
Yeah.
That's like one of the craziest changes on tabletop gaming.
Yeah.
That's like their twist.
Right.
I'm not sold on it as a twist. Like, I don't like the twist of it.
It's like rolling dice, right? Looking at tables.
No, because you know, and there is a lot of strategy around like, oh, these cards have been used already, so I know that's not going to come up.
Yeah.
The fact that it is a deck of cards, there's only one of each card, like tells you, you need to like you have to remember all this stuff. And I can't remember anything.
Yeah.
It's a cute concept, and I think 10 years ago it was a very cool spin. But I don't think we need gimmicks in our war games anymore.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's speaking from someone who plays Age of Sigmar.
Yeah, where the double turn is the gimmick. No, look, I will play any game that you set in front of me. That's just who I am. I don't know if we can do it on the channel. I don't want to speak for the channel at large.
Tough because it takes so much time and effort, and it takes a certain amount of momentum. The only reason that MCP happened was because Bridger kind of willed it into existence, and they were just playing it.
Yeah.
So to that effect, if you want to see a Legion, gotta bug John.
Dude, I swear it's gonna happen. We're gonna do Legion again. It's gonna look. I'm gonna have a stern talking to with AMG, Atomic Mass Games, and by stern talking to, I mean I'm gonna beg them, and they're gonna support us in some way. And then John's gonna be cornered and be like, John, they sponsored us to play Star Wars Legion. You have to learn the rules and teach me.
He does respond really well to guilt.
Yeah.
That.
So, John, if you're watching, I'm gonna get you to teach me Legion again.
I will say Devin Wilson has an excellent naming idea of Superhero Sunday.
Oh.
You don't like Titans and Tights? A lot of people were disappointed, Bridger.
That we weren't wearing tights?
Yeah. They were like, where's the tights? They're underneath
Look,
the
we
clothes.
can't. I don't think we really can wear tights.
Not
On
while
stream.
keeping the rating that we have.
I don't think we can do that, guys.
But thank you, Face Daydream. I really appreciate it. I think 100% we'll play it off of stream, but I don't know about getting it on.
Yeah.
But thank you as always.
Thank you, Seedroots. I'm personally really bummed about some factions, but we'll see how it goes. Ultramarine list, should I run the Desolation as 10 or 2 5s? Mastercraft?
Oh. What? Hold on. What is this? Ultramarines? What is
Yeah.
Desolation? Is that the new shooty guys?
So when you were in stasis, they came out with new
The missile guys. Yeah, okay. So that's what they're called.
Yeah, they're Desolation Marines. Not Desolator Marines, which was the correct name.
They gotta work on their naming of space.
Like, we were already going to make fun of them no matter what they came up with, but it was clearly Desolator Marines. But they were like, no, these are Desolation Marines. What?
breaking the pattern. They established a pattern of like 40 units in a row.
This is an Esser or an Eder. That's it. Anyways, Mastercraft of Vanguard, I'm a huge fan of. This basically, so this is the Sergeant, that's how we're pronouncing it, gets a 2 damage out of line of sight gun. Mastercrafted for 3 damage out of line of sight gun. It's so mean, and all the coolest kids are doing it right now, so I'm a fan of that. 10 versus 2 5s, I think it depends. I'm generally a fan of the 10, and I know John is, but we also usually predicate this on some sort of buff for it. So Chapter Master, if you have Bobby G, absolutely fantastic. I think it's great. So I would lean, well,
Argument for the 5s, get more sergeants.
you get more sergeants. And if you're running Galeman, as we discussed, it is a bubble.
They
So
all
you
get
can actually
reroll.
both be getting the reels.
Yeah.
But regardless, they need to get these buffs. They need to get this efficiency. If you look at the ones that have been successful thus far, Space Wolves ignore negative penalties for moving and shooting, so they get that. The Dark Angels ones could just not move and hit on 2s, which helps also for shooting on line of sight.
Spicy.
Iron Hands also ignore the penalty and reroll 1s.
Oh.
So the successful chapters that are running them are ones that are really benefiting from some sort of buff. So however you manage that with your 10 or your 5, I think they're both equally good as long as you're getting the buffs for all 10 of the Marines. Yeah, good question.
There you go.
Awesome. A couple super chats before we get into the next one. Thank you, Durgrim Bloodbeard.
Oh, what's up, Thurgrim?
I just
Thurgrim?
need more MCP in my life. Use Moon Knight next time. That is all.
We will, and we have him. And John wants to play Midnight Suns, which we're going to play Moon Knight in. Also, I believe Moon Knight is in Webbed Warriors.
It is. We checked today, actually.
Which Adrian here wants to play.
That's me. I just bought my first MCP.
Do you know why I bought Moon Knight?
Yeah.
Because of Blade's in the same box as him. I want a Blade.
Blade. Oh, that's pretty cool, actually.
Blade's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Moon Knight also cool, but he's not Blade.
What's Midnight Warriors? Isn't that a game?
Midnight Suns.
Midnight
There
Suns.
is a video game about Midnight Suns.
But it's like a club?
So there was a period in comics
Oh, I'm sorry, Mel.
where it was all about kids and teenagers being angsty.
Yeah.
Midnight Suns are a bunch of angsty teenagers.
Oh, it's like they're Teen Titans?
Yeah. Their parents were supervillains, all of them. And then am I thinking something else? Midnight Suns are also angsty teenagers.
Yeah, okay. I'm on my...
No, I think this is right. This is right. Chat's gonna tell me I'm wrong. Their parents were all supervillains, and then they were hanging out every time their parents met up for their supervillain conference. The kids got stuffed in like a hotel room
No
and
way.
learned that they all inherited powers from their
No.
supervillain parents.
No.
And then they were like, wait, our parents are villains? We can't allow this.
Yeah.
And they teamed up to take down their parents, and their parents were super proud of them for killing their parents. But they were proud. Weird. Look, it's comics. And then after that was done, then they just stayed as like we solve the world's problems, but we still need a parent because we don't have parents. So they go hang out in New
York?
with a mom.
With the mom.
Well, no, they're in Salem,
Oh, they have a fake...
which is in another dimension.
Okay.
Look, it's a whole thing.
Sorry, I asked.
It's comics.
I'm sorry you asked.
I either love it or I hate it, and I really can't decide.
I might be thinking of a different. I might be mixing two.
You're talking about Runaways.
That is what I'm talking about. Yeah, I mixed Midnight Suns and Runaways. But I maintain Midnight Suns are all about angsty teenagers who solve the world's crises without people knowing about them.
I'm sorry, is there a character that's just a velociraptor?
Are you talking about Sauron?
I'm
I think you're talking about Sauron.
From Lord of the Rings? This has gotten out of hand.
Well, he's a pterodactyl, not a velociraptor. What are they? What are you talking about, velociraptor?
Sin said my favorite character was literally just a velociraptor.
Oh, in Marvel.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking about.
Talking about Sauron, who's a pterodactyl.
I don't know.
Well, Bridger did come in with a whole box of new models, and I
did.
do have to say I like the Doctor Strange model.
Bought a lot.
Thank you, Hamsterdam. One of the things I have, there's 3 boxes on your porch right now, Bridger. If we don't get through this, you don't get to them.
They're going to get soaked in the rain.
Sentinel Prime is on my porch right now.
Thank you, Amsterdam. One of the things I've liked about Ninth is that the list people bring looked like a mixed army. Arc has changed some of that, but I hope the new list style keeps the look of good mix of unit types.
They've set themselves a challenge. It's a very brave challenge. It says, if we design the game well, people will build armies that look like real armies. And I appreciate that. And they basically said as much in the article today. They were like, you're going to take troops because troops are going to be useful, not because you have to take troops. And I think that's, again, brave, but if they do it well, I think will be better than what we have now.
I think what they mean in brass tacks when they say that is we saw on data sheets there's a number that tells you how many models you count as when holding an objective.
Yeah.
Or that's what we assume that number means. They said vaguely it has to do with you holding objectives.
Right, yeah, the value.
If they just give troops a high number, it's quasi-OBSEC. It's not 100% you hold it if they don't have OBSEC, but your number's so much bigger than theirs that it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
And that forces you to take troops in a different way, unless your whole goal is just to blow people off the table, which we've seen sometimes in 40k.
That's the concern, right? That's the concern.
I don't know. I like diverse list approaches. I think I'm okay with leaf blowers existing, as long as they're not dominant.
Yep, exactly. I think, which brings up another question of how is the scoring going to work? That'll be a big determining factor.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's a big question.
Maybe you lose points when you kill a unit.
That would surprise me. that would be a shocking discovery, but I think it's possible that you don't get any points for killing things.
Oh, that would be super interesting.
Yeah.
Ooh, that I like. We'll find out.
Thank you, Tau Q. Psyched about 10th. Love all the changes so far. Seems everything is for the better. Sub-faction's gone, not flavor. Apparently would be replaced with the detachment rules. Let's stay positive. 7.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I
Appreciate
like
the
it.
positivity.
It's true. Yeah, look, a rose by any other name, right? It's a detachment ability. And if it lets us paint and be creative however we want, that's great. And if you're an Ultramarines fan or a Pale Fist fan or whatever, you still play them. It's all good. Focusing on what matters, which is telling the stories you want to tell.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
So, it's good. Should we move closer or?
No, there's a
going back
list
to
coming
list?
up.
Okay,
Would you like
okay.
to just, we can do, we can jump
We're just
to those.
really far apart
just-
now.
Would you like to
miss
do
him.
all the lists first
a
and then
huge
jump
gulf
into the
between
super
us.
chats?
You know.
I'm
This
sorry.
is also just visually strange. We're just really far apart.
Yeah, that's probably my bigger concern.
I can't remember which one we're on.
Oh, what's up, Siege Roots?
Thank you, Oop Boop Doop. I'm a dirty Grot lover. Is there any way to make a full Grot army competitive in any way? Been building some Gloom Spike kits and would love to see something similar for 40k.
This kind of looks like a haiku the way it's out. I like it.
The formatting?
Yeah, it's not a diss. I like haikus. They're great. I read them all the time.
I don't know why she got mad about that. Truly, I don't know what was offensive about what he said.
Fine, I will refer to your work as beautiful Japanese poetry.
She copied
Because I will never make that mistake again.
I don't understand. Why is she mad?
So an all Grot army. Frankly, no.
You tried this
Yeah.
in earlier 9th.
Yeah, I did, yeah. Well, that's true. That's true, actually. You know what? I mostly rescind my comment.
Oh.
So Grots are great for scoring. Grots are great for blocking off and being cheap. The Killicans are actually pretty amazing right now. They're real cheap. It's like the price of a Blade Guard for a Killican.
Good deal.
So you take those. You could take a lot, and then you can take Wartsnark, Deuterino.
How have you not mentioned the tanks?
We'll get there.
Grot tanks.
We're getting there. And then you can take the Grot tanks, which are actually the Mega Grot tanks in particular are pretty good. It's like 140, 160 points for a ton of firepower. We're talking like 7 D6 damage shots.
That's a lot of D6s.
7 D3 D6 damage shots. Yeah, say that 5 times fast.
I can't.
So I think that's actually not bad. I'll be honest. The other thing that I would encourage you to do, which is probably the more realistic answer, is just convert everything into grots. Like I have a war boss on bike that is just a little baby tank of grots, and I played a war boss on bike, but it's to go with my grot tanks.
Yeah, that's great.
It's exactly for that reason, you know. On PlayOn, they just had this. I'm always going to get his username wrong, but person does really cool work. He plays Imperial Guard, but they're all converted to grots.
Yeah.
And uses guard rules, but plays them obviously as grots. That's how they're modeled, and it's all customized. And the Bullgrin are trolls and all the cool stuff. So you know you can take this as far as you want to like play the models that you want. So that's how I would approach that. It's a great question. Thank you. Yeah. Oop boop doop.
Awesome.
Appreciate it.
Okay, so this is the last list I have so far,
Okay.
and then I can let you get close to each other again.
Excellent.
So Graham Tevis,
Hey, what's up, Graham?
I believe in one of you to rate this.
Well, Bridger, this is your first time playing Space Marines since Stasis, so I'll
So
try.
you're gonna let me?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. So we got an Iron Hands list. We have a Primaris Lieutenant, got there, with Vox and Rights.
Nice.
One Primaris Taskmaster. And ruined
Tech
by
Marine?
Marvel.
Yeah.
Oh, Tech Marine, yeah, with Master of the Forge, yeah. Two inflatable tactical grav.
Yeah.
Two Infiltrators. One Tac Squad with grav, interesting.
Yeah.
Two Plasma Redemptors, one Onslaught Redemptor, two Scouts with Snipers, and Rocks.
Rocket.
Oh, I forgot. Okay, I
Remember, it's
forgot
all
Scouts
three.
could.
So,
Yep.
By the way, for 55
Cloaks,
points,
camo
all Scouts
cloaks are-
have cloaks, snipers, a rocket launcher, and a thunderhammer now.
That's cute. We have a Relic Computer with Merciless.
Could it be Contemptor? Relic Contemptor? It
Could
has to
be. Strange way to abbreviate that.
Yeah.
We have an Invalid List with Multi-Melta. We have two Tornadoes
Oh gosh, it actually says tornadoes.
with
Yeah. This is the assault cannon multi-melta.
something in Multi-Melta? Oh, okay,
This
okay.
is the
land speeder,
speeder.
but big.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
And then two Dev Squads with two Grav and two Multi-Melta. We got some Lemon Liminators in here.
Oh yeah, lemon laminators.
We got a Drop Pod and two Storm Speeders. What a fascinating list that is a mix of Firstborn and Primaris.
You know, you're gonna lose your mind.
Yeah?
It's pretty meta, actually.
Really? I look at so many things in this and I'm like, it's an old meme, but it checks out. Like, I haven't heard many of these words in half a decade.
That's a lot of Marines right now, is they're very janky. The only thing it's missing is the Vanguard vents, to be honest. It's a very shooty list, right? With the Iron Hands, everything's going to be rerolling ones, ignoring penalties to shoot, and have, of course, the extra AP. So it's just absolutely leaf blows your opponent. I'm looking at secondaries and stuff like that. It's great. The one thing it's missing is, yes, what the Vanguard vets bring, which is a little bit of melee.
Yeah, there's.
I worry.
You have like Redemptors, and that's your only combat in this whole list.
Yeah.
And characters.
I guess it is 3 Redemptors. That's pretty compelling. Is there Rights of War here? Because I feel like
Not
if you're going to take 3
listed.
Redemptors.
Oh yeah, right. It's the first thing on the with Vox. Right, with Vox.
Yeah, okay. On the Lieutenant.
Oh, and I love that it's a lieutenant because you already reroll once for your whole army for the whole game. That's such a cute Iron Hands thing.
Oh god.
I just that stuff like that just gets me.
They say, and Scouts transports are open top.
On the Storm Speeders, Scouts go on the Storm Speeders.
Oh, that's the Scout one. Gotcha.
Oh, it's a land speeder storm. It's not a storm speeder.
Right.
It is a land speeder storm,
So
which
they can
is
speed on by sniping on their fast moving sniper, shooting with the rocket launcher, and then going clubbing with the Thunderhammer. I like it.
it's a model that GW regrets ever making.
It's cool. We actually have none. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, 'cause GW doesn't want anybody to have any. They do not like that these exist.
It's awesome. I like this list a lot.
That's cool.
Just be wary of the lack of melee. So that's the only critique I think I can have.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Cool.
I agree. Fully agree.
Thanks, Graham.
Full send. Cool list.
Awesome. That's what we have for list right now. We'll go
Back
back
to
to
the
the
center.
super chat. Now you can go together. Rejoin. Be happy.
That was a dangerous maneuver that you attempted there.
Yeah, that was gonna end badly, so I stopped.
I could have. That could have shortened the stream.
Bridger's like, I could have gotten home to my Amazon boxes.
Yeah, right?
Let's see. Hey Titans, I'm excited for 10th. The notion of a simpler and faster game is appealing. Bridger with the line being the ultimate ABC until you play Dark Angels.
See, I told you.
So I think with the lion back, I'm now okay with Dark Angels because there's like an adult in the room. That's the problem that Dark Angels had for a long time. There were no adults in the room. There were just children ruling children, and they were all motivated by jealousy, and it was just they fell to chaos, you know.
You know, it even happens in the newest book. I guess it's not the newest one anymore, but the Vashtor book, where it's like Vashtor is besieging the Rock, and basically Azrael is fresh out of the hospital from becoming a Primaris, so he can't really fight, and so he puts Belial in charge. And Belial's like in the command zone, like trying to like keep track of everything. And he's like, should I go out there? I'm like, no, someone needs to watch. I want to go fight. And then like Azrael like can't really do all this stuff. So there's a constant struggle of who's actually in charge then. And they never know. And Belial actually ends up leaving the command center to go fight, even though he shouldn't. So
just a bunch of kids.
Yeah, you're right.
They're just a bunch of kids. And that was the downfall of the Dark Angels, is they're just jealous kids.
Luther was like that older kid that was a bad influence.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, if he's smoking, you know, and he like gets him in all this trouble, and he's just like going down a bad route.
It's like a, what's that book where kids are on an island, they rule the island and kill each other? Lord of the Flies? Yeah. It's like a Lord of the Flies situation. Except the children are also on mega space steroids.
Yeah. That's a bad combination.
Which doesn't help.
No.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Love it. Thank you, Flyboy56234.
What's up, Flyboy?
Your dream versus box and why. Mine is Orc versus Corn because of the lore with Bad Moons.
Oh, that's good. Dream box. Okay. Let's look at the armies.
Well, it's like a question of why. I think first, why do you want the factions to show off? Because cool lore matchup versus interesting gameplay versus just two armies that I want in the same box so I can buy them both at the same time.
Right, exactly.
Very different.
I think for me, the bottom of the bucket there, of the kind of tier list, is like cool game. Because whatever, nobody's ever played a game out of the box like that.
Oh.
Don't at me.
So this is supposedly how GW gets people into the hobby. Those boxes.
I think it's for those boxes because they're just such a good deal.
That's how most of those boxes sell.
That's how it happened today. Literally, I was at the game store, and I called my dad up. I was like, hey, there's like this Vanguard box. It's a pretty good deal. I know you're looking for this thing. He's like, oh yeah, get that. And I was like, I look over, I'm like, or for a few more dollars, we can split this other box. And that's how they got me.
Yeah, this is how I walk into the studio today, and Adrian's like, don't freak out when you look in the car. I was like, what is in the car?
Don't be mad.
Okay, promise you won't be mad.
Don't be mad. See, I don't have that. Like, when Amazon continuously delivers packages to my door because I got addicted to Marvel Crisis Protocol, there's nobody to judge me, okay? I just have a bunch of boxes strewn onto my bed.
Yeah.
And
that's
Amazon
one of the
packages.
Mel method. She's just like, it's just like every day I was like, it's another package. I get jealous because like, even if it's like something not exciting, it's just nice to get packages.
Nice, yeah.
And that's not how I shop, that's how Mel shops.
Yeah.
So.
You too could order subscription soap from Amazon and like get our
soap.
Just like every month he's like, oh, there's dish soap. I'm like, yeah, it just comes every month.
Yeah, it's just exciting. It doesn't matter what it is. Just know that there's a package coming.
Dish soap.
Is today the day I get the dish soap? Just saying, you know? Anyways, what was the question? Favorite box sets. I'm torn because, almost one of my immediate thoughts was like, I want to be greedy, and I would love a box set that's like Orcs versus Harlequins with new models for both. I'd be happiest boy. So I think I'm going to say that. Like I would be like, I don't know which direction to run, so I would run both directions equally and just get like ripped in half.
But it's the same. You buy both. It's one direct.
Yeah, but we have to start building one first.
Oh, okay.
Where are you going to start? You're actively working against the other one if you pick one to start.
That's tough, yeah. Which one are you going to paint first?
Yeah.
But who gets the left hand and who gets the right hand? You're right-handed. One of them's going to be painted real well.
You can do the Orcs with the left hand.
And the other one's not going to be painted as well. Okay.
What do you guys think?
I mean, all of the matchups, like all the boxes that I would want, they wouldn't make. right? Like Custodes Guard would not be a box.
It's the simulation version.
They
the Star Trek
They never
version?
do that though. Like,
that's true.
They never have double Imperium in a box, so they know that people will riot.
They all come with paintball guns instead.
It's all custom models.
I'm sorry, hear me out. 1 unit is AOS. 1 unit is 40k.
They would never make that box either, but that's brilliant. Okay, so it would be Custodes with a new model and a whole new line of ogres in a box.
Just labeled Bridger's Dream box.
And it comes like with a coupon for Taco Bell.
Yes, it comes with Taco Bell already in the box.
This is our GW collaboration in the making.
You actually pick up the box at Taco Bell.
Amazing. I love it.
Awesome. Thank you, Stir Crazy. I'm completely lost on all the new stuff. Are Necrons bad again? Be honest with me.
I doubt it. That sounds strong. Are they bad?
No, they're not bad.
That sounds like a forceful statement.
They're not bad. They're just not at the tippy top anymore. I don't. They're not like on the radar or off the radar. They're just kind of around.
They just exist.
I'll
I'll tell you why that is.
tell me.
And Necron players out there, don't get offended.
Oh.
Oh no.
I'm not talking about you. Most of the people who play Necrons are bandwagoners. And that is not to say that there are not Necron fans. But it's notable.
Yeah.
When Necrons are strong, there are a lot of Necron players.
Yeah, yeah.
And when they're not strong, there are very few. It is not like other factions. Okay?
That's true.
Like, there are Custodes fans, they will play them when they're good, they'll play them when they're bad. There are Space Elves fans, all these elves. Orc fans, like, they'll play them good, they'll play them bad, they just play them. And there's some fluctuation in the number of people who play them, but not anywhere near as much as Necrons, because boy does it become a ghost town when Necrons are bad. And I'm not talking about you, Necron fan at home.
Right.
This isn't you, this is everybody else. Why did they stop playing? You tell me.
You know what? I really thought I was going to take offense at what you said, but I don't.
But
No, you're not wrong.
it's true.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Look, they still have good secondaries. They get the Space Marines. I think are bad for them because they can actually, wipe them off the field.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to tag them
lot
up
of
and all this
guns.
stuff. So I think that's probably the biggest thing. But I don't think they're bad. No, not at all.
They have a 40% win rate right now. So they're fine.
That's
Says who?
within acceptable margins.
I don't know. Says Michael in chat.
Yeah. Dang it.
40's low,
I'm actually curious.
but it's not a high score of low.
Not that MetaWatch is like the thing, but
You know why
yeah.
they could? One explanation of why they ended up so low.
Yeah. Tell me.
Well, the bandwagoners stopped playing them, and now you have such low sample size. And you're not taking the cream of the crop, the people who will just bandwagon and
Yep.
stop playing them. You're taking the diehard Necron fans who will play Doomstalkers. They will, they will
there it is.
play triple flying transport, right? Like the people who are just playing Necrons because they love them. They have the T-pose Catan, the little one.
Yeah. Transcendent?
Transcendent. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're playing him. That's why.
That's fair. Yeah.
When
And
we
I love
pull
those
the
people.
analytics on this stream, I'm curious if we lose subscribers.
yeah. Like we actually have a lot of Necron fans, Bridger. So you're betting.
But
on
I'm
this
not
one.
talking about them.
Not you.
I made that very clear.
Just you bandwagoners.
To everybody else.
So the MetaWatch article, again, a month old, and take it with a grain of salt. It says 45%.
That's not like obviously you want to be 50.
Also, Stir Crazy is Jacob. BTW Adrian forgot my YouTube name was changed.
Oh, what's up, Jacob?
What's up,
yeah, I
Jacob?
totally forgot. What's up? How you doing? Yeah, 45 is better because 50 is the baseline, and it's going to be plus or minus 5 on the other side. That is the ideal for them. If it goes below that, then they start to get nervous. So 40 would have been not as great. But anyways, I don't know. I think
I'm with you.
they still have potential.
Yeah. I think
Awesome.
they're fine.
We're staying by it.
And we're going to end the night with a meme list.
Ooh.
Thank you, Synth. Yeah, either Leviosa yourself or
What if we just stand up?
you're going to
Can we just stand up for the end of the stream?
Yep.
Here we go. Ah, that was loud.
This is better than moving?
Well, we gotta stand up eventually, Mel.
Yeah.
Meme list. Curious. Meme list curious. Night Lords. Go for it, Adrian.
Winged Demon Prince, Slaanesh. I say that because of Total War now. Claws of Stygian Count, Killing Fury, Disco Lord, Slaanesh, Slash weapon plus flames of spite. 3 cultists, 6 10-man raptors. Corn. Power swords on sergeants. What?
Why
on
is
here?
this so tiny?
Is this 2,000 points?
Where's all the models?
I don't know. It said meme list. I was waiting for them to be like cucumbers on pizza or
Where'd
something.
the
That's the
models
meme.
go?
6 by 10. You can't take 6 raptors. They don't become.
You can if they're troops in 10th? Maybe that's what they're going for?
Right? I don't think Night Lords make them troops unless I am.
I mean, Night Lords might not exist in 10th. Because no sub-factions.
Right.
Maybe there's a detachment that lets you take... Where is this coming from, Zin? what do you know that we don't know?
Zinth is on another dimension. Oh my gosh. Okay, well let's. What if it was?
It was 2,000 points on the nose.
So if you could run this, what do we think? Look, I think it's fantastic. No, I would.
And rule of 3 is only tournaments.
Oh, okay.
Technically...
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Look, we wanted the parameters.
Oh, all right.
Walking around, this is good. Let's see. This is fun. I'm into it. I like it. I don't know how you're gonna hold objectives, but it's gonna be great. You're so far away. I'm gonna move forward.
I'm in the shadow.
All right, this is how we're doing this show now. Zen,
We don't
this looks
play
like a ton
enough
of
with
fun.
depth, you know?
Yeah. We're trying to learn. Do you have 60 raptors at home, Zen? I really want to know.
We've lost it.
It's late. It's almost 11.
You're almost 11. This is really fun. Have fun. Enjoy. This is what Warhammer is actually about. It's just saying, what would happen if I took 60 raptors?
You're going to find out, Zin. You're going to tell us
Let us know. Come back to us.
what this is like.
Yeah.
That's it for the night, y'all.
Yeah,
Awesome.
great.
Cool. Well, thank you all so much for joining us. It's been lovely.
Yeah, now don't you feel
This is just
weird.
like an album cover now. What was the name we came up with earlier? Lots of stuff coming up on the channel. Of course, Saturday it's going to be Bridger and myself and Shane hanging out playing on April Fools. Join us. I'm going to be playing Farsight Enclaves again before Izzy steals back his beautiful, beautiful collection. Shane's going to be bringing his Purple Marines as Iron Hand successors, which is, again, meta thing, so you're going to learn a lot. It's going to be fantastic. Yeah, honestly, it's been lovely chatting with everyone. We'll catch you next time on the Tabletop.
Bye.